If the president has projects he wants funding for, you need to come before this body and provide reasoning, not just shift money around. Right now, you are stealing from our service members, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now you have repeatedly said that you will judge every individual on their merit. Is that true?
Unlike the previous administration,
You will
yes,
judge
we are focusing
simple yes
on,
or no.
for our service
Judge
members,
everybody
how
on their
good they
merit.
are at their job. Yes.
But yet you are separating thousands of service.
Congressman Gil Cisneros presses Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth with sharp criticism, accusing the administration of misusing military deployments, failing at basic security responsibilities, and making decisions that harm service members rather than support them. Cisneros challenges Hegseth's record and even his past statements, calling out what he describes as reckless conduct, financial mismanagement, and the use of national security rhetoric as a political shield instead of a genuine protective measure. The exchange feels less like routine oversight and more like a personal confrontation, reflecting the frustration many Americans feel when they see the Pentagon fully funded for political priorities, yet chronically short on resources for soldier housing, veteran care, and essential infrastructure. Let's watch.
This gentleman from California, Mr. Cisneros.
What stands out immediately?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, so many topics to cover. I represent California's 31st District, located in Southern California, where you've deployed the National Guard and Marine Combat Battalion in an effort by this administration to provoke a confrontation. God only knows for what reason. As my colleague from Tennessee mentioned, the military has been activated before by the president, but let's tell the whole story. President Johnson federalized the troops after the governor of Alabama activated them to keep black students out of the University of Alabama. President Johnson did it so the students could attend the university. He did it for the right reason. He corrected a wrong. California did not ask the president for help, and the presence of the military is an effort by this administration to intimidate and incite fear and violence amongst its citizens. You failed at ensuring basic operational security by sharing classified data over an unclassified network. This was blatant, lazy, and put service members' lives at risk. And knowing that your office is a SCIF, I hope you are not bringing in your devices, your personal cell phone, or even your work phone, because that's not supposed to be in there either, right? Your cell phone, into your office to send these signal chat texts. Your blatant lack of basic OPSEC would have gotten you resigned, forced you to resign from any other administration. You're requiring 8% cuts across all services, not to save the taxpayers money, but to fund President Trump's pet projects. You talk about quality of life for our service members, but yet you take $1 billion away from the Army that was meant to improve their barracks and their. You said that money waste, but we don't know that yet because we haven't seen a budget. If the president has projects he wants funding for, you need to come before this body and provide reasoning, not just shift money around. Right now, you are stealing from our service members, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now you have repeatedly said that you will judge every individual on their merit. Is that true?
Unlike the previous administration,
You will
yes,
judge
we are focusing
simple yes
on,
or no.
for our service
Judge everybody
members, how
on their
good they
merit.
are at their job. Yes.
But yet you are separating thousands of service members who are performing and doing their job at a high level. They are being separated not based on merit. You know, some of them have been recommended for early promotion and have gotten awards and are doing a great job, but you are separating for no other reason, and frankly, I think you just don't like them. And you are classifying many of them as a national security threat, which is simply not true. You asked the Secretary of the Navy to change the name of the ship, because Harvey Milk didn't meet your definition of warrior ethos. If a Korean War veteran and a Navy diver who gave his life for standing up for his beliefs doesn't meet your definition, I don't know what will. You keep talking about recruiting, but let's face the facts here, right? Recruiting started improving before President Trump even came into office, and the reason that changed was because of the investment that was put into recruiting. Now, I was at the Pentagon at the time, and I know how much we invested in it, and I know how much of the services. And when you take away that investment, you're going to get exactly what happened in President Trump's first administration. In 2019, we had the same recruiting crisis that, back in 2019 when he was president the first. First time. You continue to attack diversity, but I have always said diversity is about creating opportunity, and I have seen plenty of individuals, many of them enlisted members, who when given the opportunity have succeeded not because of their sex, not because of color, not because of their sexual identity, but because of their worth ethic and merit. Mr. Secretary, when using your definition of DEI, I think there's only one individual at the Pentagon right now who got his job based on that merit, and that is you, and you got it because of sucking up to your boss. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chair.
What strikes directly Settles frames as criticism, accusing the administration of deploying the National Guard not for public safety, but for political confrontation. Throughout history, Americans have scrutinized moments when federal power is turned inward, knowing those decisions leave permanent marks on the national conscience. By invoking President Johnson and the University of Alabama, Settles highlights a long-running theme. Military force can be justified when it protects rights, but when it's perceived as intimidation, it becomes something else entirely. The most serious allegation comes when he accuses Hegseth of mishandling classified information, an especially alarming claim in a climate where national security is constantly in focus. Whether politically charged or not, Americans expect military leaders to exhibit the highest standards of care. So when Cusetto argues that any other administration would have demanded a resignation, it reflects a growing belief that Washington no longer holds its top officials to the same rules as everyone else. He also raises concerns about funding, pointing out cuts to military services and barracks while resources are shifted toward presidential priorities, an issue familiar to many Americans who wonder how massive Pentagon budgets still result in aging facilities and declining quality of life for service members. When he accuses leadership of taking from troops to serve political goals, it hits a nerve for military families who feel the strain daily. The debate over separating service members for reasons unrelated to merit further underscores national frustrations. When the military becomes a battleground for cultural fights, morale and recruitment suffer. America's strongest military eras have emphasized unity, not division, and Cusetto suggests this administration is pushing out people who don't align with its views. His remarks on diversity reinforce the idea that the military's strength has always come from opportunity and merit, not identity labels, something older veterans understand deeply. Ultimately, what lingers after the exchange is the sense that Americans want a Defense Department that protects the country while respecting those who serve. Political battles over culture, funding, and motives can obscure the fact that real service members live with the consequences. The public's pride in the military depends on trust, and trust depends on accountable leadership. I'm curious how you see it. Do these criticisms reveal deeper issues inside the Pentagon, or are they simply political disagreements between Congress and the administration?